your kink is being kidnapped and thrown into a white van.
To play it out, I'd be just on the street and then like a white van like pulls up and like I get mugged and thrown into the van. I get put to a warehouse and like my person or whoever, like I know it's already happening, but I like the concept of like damsel in distress kind of thing, consent, non-consent. So it's like taking things away. It's a kink.
What's good? My name is Chris Styles. It's Trappin Anonymous. Welcome back. We are back. New episodes. Thank you everybody for supporting us. As usual, shout out to Breakbeat Media. Please follow Trappin Anonymous on Instagram. Follow Chris Styles. Follow Breakbeat Media. We thank you all for just tuning in and helping make this thing exactly what it is. Do remember that the stories you hear do not necessarily reflect real life. They're here to educate, entertain, or just keep your little homie off the streets. My name is Chris Styles. This is Trappin Anonymous. Let's get it. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Oh, so I like to jump right into my interviews. I don't want to. What exactly is your role? What would you call yourself?
Um, I would call myself the hub.
The hub
Yeah,
for everything.
of adult entertainment.
So I was looking at your Instagram, and you had this thing called Lovers and Friends for couples. Explain to me what goes on in sort of this atmosphere.
So in that atmosphere, it'll be a hotel takeover, so to speak. We'll have different theme events going on throughout the 3-day, 4-day, 3-night excursion, so to speak, because it's not too far. But it'll just be things that enhance the couple's lifestyle, and it's open to singles too. So it's lovers and friends. So it'll just be swinging and people meeting and greeting new people. There'll be workshops that'll have like different type of sexual concepts that people can incorporate in their everyday lives.
And these people are staying overnight?
Yeah, they book their rooms.
And it's just an excursion of fun.
So you ever went on like a ski trip?
No, but I've
You know the concept.
Yeah.
Same thing. It just has a different theme behind it.
And so does this like go on all day, or is this like certain times, like, all right, 3 o'clock?
There's scheduled out time frames like how you're on a cruise ship and they'll have the itinerary for the day, but then people miss certain things. They create their own different things or they go to sleep. I don't know. Some people it's just like a way to get away from real life.
I could imagine them like, okay, everybody, we're fucking at 12. See you there. And it's like,
All right, I'll meet you at 12:30. I already started.
oh shit. Okay. So we was talking earlier, and you emphasized that you wanted to tell the difference between a threesome and a train. So I'm asking you, what is the difference between a threesome and a train?
Okay.
I'm assuming for women.
No, in general, because like one, I don't necessarily want to tell what I think it is before I know what you think it is, because then we might not be battling.
Oh. Okay.
So what is your definition of a threesome with 2 males and a female? Is that a threesome or is that a train? Because that's why it's better to ask, what is your definition of a train?
So I grew up in Brooklyn, relatively, if two guys were having sex with a female, it was a train. They're gonna run a train on her. You know what I mean? No one's saying, oh, let's have a threesome with these 2 guys and 1 girl.
Well, my definition of a train, I thought was like revolving doors, like one after the other. Like the train goes by one after the other. One finishes, then the next one comes in, close the door. That is like the concept of a train. A lot of people want to say that it's not a threesome because everybody is not engaging in the play, but we're not we're all in the same room. We're still engaged in the conversation. They might not be speaking, but they're here. So it's a train. Like, I'm not running a train on me.
Have you been a part of these things?
Facilitating them, yes. I haven't been able to create my own yet.
Yeah. Oh, so this is something that you are open to.
Everybody has their own type of fantasies of stuff like they want. Like, so everybody has a bucket list of things that they want to knock off. So I got a couple.
And what is?
One of my biggest ones is I want to be kidnapped. And like, so like, okay, so to play it out, I'd be just on the street and then like a white van like pulls up and like I get mugged and thrown into the van. I get put to a warehouse and like my person or whoever, like I know it's already happening, but I like the concept of like damsel in distress kind of thing, consent, non-consent. So it's like taking things away. It's a kink.
Your kink is being kidnapped and thrown into a white
Yeah,
van.
because one, I like to be tied up, so I like rope play. So I'm like a rope bunny. I'll do that and get tied up and different and take pictures and stuff like that. But it's a good feeling sensation. So like when people like to be tied up and restrained, it's for like security. It like the ropes don't really break unless you cut them. So like sometimes like my reason for liking role play is like you'll find more comfort in a rope tying you up as opposed to a person because they could walk away.
Whoa. I don't. I can't help but try to think about that in like a deeper way. Are you used to people walking away from you?
No, it's more so of a like sometimes you are that little spoon kind of thing. You want to be comfort. You want to be in the fetal position. Like those things are just sensations that, oh, I had a bad day today. Let me get tied up. It's not something that like you want to just live in.
What was your childhood like?
My childhood was great. Like, I had me and my two siblings. We did family vacations, traveled, um, did a lot of things. Catholic school.
Oh wow. And for you, were both parents in the household? And is this something that they know that you do for a living?
Yeah, they know. They know.
They sent you to Catholic school, so I'm assuming they're pretty religious.
No.
No?
Like I feel like in terms of it is like sometimes even when it comes down to regular events, sometimes we know if you spend a little bit more money you get a better experience. So if at that like decades ago it was like if I put money into a monthly education it might be better. But then like even growing over the years I seen that public schools had better experiences to give to the kids if the kids took the opportunities.
Got you. So your parents are okay with you sort of having these events where people are swinging paddles, and getting tied up.
I mean, I think that like they just don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. They know it goes on. Like I own a St. Andrew's cross. I own a spanking bench. Like they see it in the yard, like covered up, and they know when I'm having an event. Like, they know, but it's. I think there's times that like I've gotten them intrigued in like the erotic massages and different types of couple bonding things that they can do on their own, but they haven't stepped their feet in it. I don't know. Like I don't mind walking them through the process in a space that I know that they'd be comfortable. Like
What's
I'm
an
here
e-
for the shit.
what's an erotic massage?
So erotic massages is basically like you can go and get a regular deep tissue massage, but then you can also get a deep tissue massage in somebody that's dressed in sexy lingerie, someone that's gonna like press their body on you in erotic different experiences, as well as it could take to the step that they can finish you. So like as a female, they'll use like a massager or a vibrator or something like that, and for a male, they'll give you a hand job.
Okay.
Not everybody takes it to that level, so
Right.
there's levels to it, but the basic erotic massage is just a sexy massage.
Okay. So, are you in a relationship?
Currently, no. I have a partner that I'm consistent with, but I am not in a relationship now.
So, what are y'all arrangement?
I don't know right now because he getting on my fucking nerves. Yeah, I said it.
So, is he sort of like into the kink
I
world?
met him here. That like
Oh,
one of the major things that I find a problem is trying to create these bonds because I think that that's one of the major things. Like I met you in this atmosphere, so it's like when those relationship things come into play, when this is business, it tends up creating blurred lines, and I'm not really here for the relationship right now. I'm here to better myself, create a foundation, and then I could think about a relationship when this stuff is like easy breezy.
It's the infamous, you don't mix business with pleasure, right?
Yeah, not even that. I think like when pleasure comes into play, you want to change the concept of the business. Like that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be on the relationship. When if I didn't have the business, this relationship wouldn't even exist.
What is sort of your idea of the perfect kink?
Explain that question.
Like, in your mind, is there like a fantasy that you have with sort of your partner? I know you
Like
mentioned.
he's supposed to kidnap me,
Oh, so
and
so
I
you
messed it up apparently because
so
I didn't go where I was supposed to go. But that's the brat in me, and yeah. So.
so you was making it hard to get kidnapped.
No, I don't know. I probably thought I was right, and I might have been wrong, and I just didn't go.
What's sort of the wildest thing that you witnessed that even made you sort of like take a deep breath, like you just did?
There was okay, so I was hosting an event, and then I came into a room, and then there was like a Soul Train line of like bodies. It was like a centipede. It was pretty dope. And I was like, well, I wish I could take a picture of this, but inside.
What were they doing?
They were having sex. Like everybody was like, I wouldn't say that that could be a train. That was a whole bunch of carts.
So it was man, woman,
There was no man on man, but there was. It could have been man, woman, 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 man. I don't really
all
remember.
pleasing each other
It all
orally.
orally, penetrating, all of that.
And what about STDs,
We use
STIs?
condoms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like most of the time in the rules, like it'll be I put condoms and lube and stuff everywhere in all the rooms, so they're always accessible, even if you don't have your own, as well as we make it we make the announcement that there's nobody should be having sex without condoms unless they were fluid bounding already, like couples and stuff like that. But even if that's the case, most couples will come in there and use their condoms anyway. They just know like right now we'll go not use condoms when we go home. We don't know these people, so
Right.
I think the only hard part when it comes down to it is like girl on girl. Like I think that that's a little bit more intimate than like nobody's walking around with dental dams.
What's that?
That's the little the sheet that you'll put over the vagina so you can eat it out without you actually coming in contact with.
So a lot of your parties are orgies.
Orgies happen at my parties, but they're not orgies.
Is this legal?
Why would it be illegal?
I don't know. I don't know. I just always thought like sort of like sex work, especially, well, I know prostitution is like legal now.
Yeah, I don't sell vagina. I don't sell sex. I don't do any of that. I sell an atmosphere where sex can happen if you're able to get it. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how to phrase that a little bit better. And I had a saying for that.
What's sort of the worst thing you've experienced that you were kind of like, you know what? Yeah, I don't know about.
So there was one time I had an event, and there was this guy that he shouldn't have been at the event. Like so even that you have to do a lot of vetting, like even just like asking people's mind frames to see if they actually should be in these experiences because they'll just make it toxic for everyone around them. But so there was this one guy that like he just kept on being off, like creepy. He was like looking into people's scenes or like just being too close in proximity to somebody. And then so he must have been watching a scene take place and I guess he was jerking off. Like you're allowed to do that. Voyeur's a thing, but you just don't be weird. But apparently he was being weird, and next thing you know, I heard her scream. The girl that was in the scene, like he like nutted on her face
So there's a couple having sex.
on the bed, and he's like by the headboard of the bed. Just one,
She's with-
violating personal space, two, being a fucking weirdo, and then three, you had on a condom, so that means you literally took off the condom for you to ejaculate on this person.
And she was with her boyfriend or just
She was
somebody?
with her dom at the time. So
So she was allowing her dom to have sex with her?
yeah, I guess they attended a sex party together as a couple, but in their personal life, she's submissive to him.
And they're having sex, and this guy, jerking off, watching them, and nuts on her face. Then what?
It happened so fast. One, she screamed. I ran up the steps. The guy was calming her down, brought her into her man brought her into the bathroom, calmed her down. Security already had roped them up because I have security on every floor, so it wouldn't. If I would have punched him. I would have did something like honestly, but people are very respectful of me and they know that I'll take care of it. So I guess that could have been one of the drawbacks, but I wasn't gonna hold back for love or money.
Wow.
But we got through it. She's actually attended more events since then, and she understands that you can't control the weirdos, and sometimes you just have to. Because, like, even with that, like, people could have. This wasn't first thing in the event. Like, he could have been put out from the very beginning.
Right.
And we, like, were ignoring the signs.
Right.
So, like, sometimes you can't even think about the dollar sign, like, just because it's a person to come in the building. Like, you really have to just get a mind frame of what they're coming in here, because it's not coming in here for free pussy. It's not like we're all here for the same reason, but you're not going to get it all the same way from everybody in here.
Were you ever hosting an event and then you were like, you know what, this looks kind of lit, and then you just like join in at some point? So now the person that's throwing the event, now you're actually taking part in some of the.
I try my best not to take part until like the wee hours of the morning, because when you take part, you lose breath. And I don't really like to lose breath. But it just ends up being that, one, I rather find spaces for me to go and turn up and enjoy myself. Like, I don't shit where I sleep. So I'm the host, I'm the boss right now. So I'll help facilitate in any way possible, even if I have to be, what is the word? If I have to take one for the team and I have somebody that I already engage with on my own, and I feel like being the show starter, I might do that. But that's only if I have to. I tend to know how to, I call myself the whisperer. Like, I could figure out, like, even that, like, a lot of people have a lot of hard time in the event for their first time because they don't know what the fuck to do. So literally, like, there's people that'll pay me a little bit extra for me to team them up with a veteran. And then, like, for the first hour, they're, like, literally walking them around, showing them how to engage with people, or even just showing them different body languages and stuff that would get them a more successful night.
Were you ever surprised at somebody that you saw that was there? And you're like, whoa, I remember you from, I don't know, wherever.
Yeah, like, I've been to events that I've seen, like, celebrities. I've been to events that, like, IG celebrities.
Celebrities like who?
Not my business.
Everybody
And
sort of.
that's the beauty of it too. It's like everybody wants better sex. Everybody wants to be able to be sexually free, and everybody wants to explore whatever their mind makes them think about. But they also don't want to be judged for it. They also want to be able to do it openly and freely, and find other people that are just like them.
So true.
So in terms of that, like, that's why people love the fact that they can get the discretion in it. Like, I could come in here as an alias name, or I don't have to tell you what my family structure and my job and all of this other things. Like, when I come in here, I am this character right now. I get to enjoy whatever it is that my heart desires, and I get to go home and be a regular person.
100%. Like, everybody has, like you said, those fantasies and those kinks that they want to get out, and everybody wants better sex, right? I think sex is like one of those things where it's like it'll never be what your idea of sex is.
Who told you that?
In my mind, I just feel like sex will
You
just.
gotta come to a party.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. Because sex is like one of those things. It's like, well, what more can I do? well, how wild can I get? It's like that gateway drug that opens you up to, like, you know, you have one threesome. It's like, okay, threesomes is cool, but what does it be like if I had a foursome? Or what would it be like if I had a fivesome? You know what I mean? Or if you said, okay, I tried this sort of play, well, let me try this sort of play. And you just never really find pleasure is a pleasure is a very dangerous thing to chase.
But then that's why when you find something that you enjoy, you continue to chase that. So then now when you find the fact that I can't get that in my regular life now, oh, there's spaces that could actually cater to what my pleasures are. You can go to a full swingers club that is like, oh, we come in here and just get right to it. You can go to a BDSM party that it's solely just kink. You can go to a mixture of it, and then you'll get the meet and greets, you'll get the vibe, you'll get people engaging. So it's like, if I can't get this in my regular life, at least I know I can escape to this at least once a month because the shit's fucking expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can imagine that. I guess I'm sort of afraid to explore those sides of myself. You know, I think that some things are just like off limits for reasons, right? Like I might get lost in it, right? Or I might, you know, go too deep into
You
it.
can
Like,
get lost in the gym.
absolutely. And you see, and you see the sort of gym rats and people that are, you know, so pumped up, and, you know, I think you could over religion yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's too much of anything. It's just, you know, it's just like.
But then even when we think about too much of good sex, how much that releases too much good endorphins, how that much gives you too much good energy, and that makes everything else bring back to you. So once you have some good sex, your day is much better.
Yo, shout out to you.
So,
So you said something about a soft swap and a hard swap. What is that?
so in terms of if you're maneuvering through the lifestyle as a couple, so in terms of engaging with another couple, a soft swap would be that it's only one party engaging in with the couple. It's not both of the parties switching.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've witnessed sort of like man on man's activity,
Not at an event, no.
not an event.
No.
It's
I've seen it before. Like I host events catered to that. Like I'm not gonna mix medium. Like I don't want to create toxic environments. But then there's also the events that it's geared around everybody's included. So what you see, mind your business if it don't apply to you. And then most of my people there, they have great personalities. They're very open-minded. If they know that you're not approaching them, they don't give a shit about what you're doing. So, and most of the time, people enjoy the dynamics of people's personalities. So, like, having everybody around, it's like, yeah, fuck what you are, what you're not, what you want to do, who you want to do.
What was your introduction to sex?
To sex.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Catholic school. And my teachers went on strike, like my freshman year of high school. And my parents didn't know that we got out at 10 o'clock. So I went to the guy that I was talking to at the time, and it was trash. And then I never had sex again for like a year and a half. And then it was like, okay, this is cool. But then I feel like sex was a job until I figured out the different things that I can get out of it or what I actually liked. And then it made it worse when the things that I liked, you told people and they didn't want to do it. So then it was like, okay, so then I'm just not going to get what I want. I'm just going to fuck you because this is how you want it. And then that led me down the rabbit hole.
And that rabbit hole sort of opens you up to this world of pleasure and this world of play.
Well, the rabbit hole got me into knowing that there were things that I needed in sex to just be comfortable. Like I like to get choked. I like spankings and things like that. Like those things, I always knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was BDSM. Or I didn't know it was a kinky thing. I thought it was just the sex that I wanted. I like rougher sex. So, but then I didn't know that like events and stuff was a thing until COVID. So I had got introduced to it. I got invited to a party. Like we shouldn't even be fucking outside, let alone being at a party that people are fucking. and then it was just kind of tasteless. It was like in a motel, people were smoking in the bathroom. It just wasn't something that elicited sexy. So that's when I decided to start throwing my own.
What does the younger version of you say to the older version of you?
Shut up and listen sometimes, because you'll get a lot further.
Is she proud of where you are right now?
She's probably disappointed in me a little bit because she knows that I'm holding back a little bit from what I should actually be doing. Like there's so many times that all these windows of opportunity opens up for me, and I like pump the brakes, or like the cars that stop at the stoplight, like, and then you got to restart it to go. That's what I do.
And why do you think that is?
A lot of the times it's just like one, finances. This shit is fucking expensive. And for me to sit here and continue to just do it because I know the need is there, as opposed to knowing that it's a guarantee, it's like I gotta weigh out the options of what makes sense anymore.
I know you said sort of like the worst experiences was when the guy ejaculated on a woman's face. Was that sort of like, does that fall into like the creepiest thing you've seen too?
That's by far. And then anything else isn't even halfway. That's like off the Richter. That doesn't happen at events.
That's not like
at least not my events.
That's not like a common thing.
No, not at all.
What kinds of sex do you have outside of, I guess, the playhouse? Is your natural sex life really enjoyable?
My sex life sucks. For me to be throwing sex parties. For it to be that I feel like because I'm constantly thinking of what to be doing next, like I don't even have the time to really want to be engaged in what I got going on. That's probably the reason why we're in the problems that we are, because I'm so driven and focused on what I got going that I don't really care at this point in time to be focused on anything that's not in the direction of where I'm going.
Have you ever been attracted to somebody like inside of one of your parties?
Yeah.
And like wanted to be with them?
Like be with them outside of the party, or
no,
be with them
right
in the
inside.
party?
Like let me.
Yeah, like everybody, you can walk down the street and say, "Oh, I'd fuck that person."
But you don't do it.
I've done it. Who hasn't?
Well, I haven't been to a sex party.
You should come.
Me?
You're gonna come to my next sex party.
That was another question that I wanted to ask you too. It was, can people come to spectate, or is that considered weird? Can people just come, watch, learn, and just not engage and just,
The body cues is what makes it weird. Like if people don't understand the social cues and they're like, okay, you're just doing too much right now. At the end of the day, there's people that come out because they want to put on performances. Who I'm gonna put a performance on for if nobody's watching. So voyeurs are needed. Like at the end of the day, there's people that just add to the sexiness in the room. They're walking around in their lingerie. Like if they had popcorn, they'd be sitting there in the corner just watching a live porno. So like it's an equal balance. It has to be an equal balance so that the ratio of the party doesn't throw off and stuff like that.
So if somebody wants to get into this, how could you sort of like advise them into the right steps or the right ways or the right directions, like how to find safe places and sort of to get into this world? Because I could imagine that a lot of extreme people are sort of in this world, right? This is not like your average 9-to-5 guy, or maybe it is. You know what I'm saying? So like, what kind of advice would you give to someone that sort of wants to enter this lifestyle?
Book a 30-minute consultation.
Selling a product.
Yeah. Other than that, I'd say like one, you have to ask for reference. Like you could see a party or somebody could have told you pull up to this party. Ask one of your friends that you're already, if you know people that are already in this world, ask people about the event, because you can't just go into different events. You never know what the dynamic is going to be, and that'll scar somebody. It'll be like if this is your first event, you'll think that all events are like that, and that's not the case. But other than that, it's more so like jumping down the rabbit hole, like doing paper trail, looking to see who, and talking to the host. Like there's people that have never been to one of my events, but I've had full-blown conversations with them because they want to know more and they don't know what to expect. They don't even know what to put in their like I call it a to-hold bag. So you gotta have the certain stuff in your bag to just be able to play comfortably, like rag, washcloth, extra condoms, lubes, lotion, mouthwash, because you shouldn't be brushing your teeth, because that opens up your gums and you might bleed and stuff like that. We don't need no blood in the building.
Like gingivitis. What sort of is your thoughts on marriage and monogamy? Does that exist?
I'm coming to terms with the fact that I feel like you can't get everything. You can't expect to get everything you want in from one person. Like that's too demanding.
Impossible.
So it's like I personally feel like what's the problem if I can't get it all from you that I can't still be fulfilled? It doesn't take away from what you're giving to me. It doesn't take away from what they can be giving to me or what I could be giving to them. And it just ends up making somebody whole. Like right now, when it comes down to trying to create anything monogamous, sometimes there's cases that it works, but sometimes one person has a void. Like they feel like they're missing something. And
So
now
you look,
because I'm so focused on making this what the vision is that I'm forgetting about my vision.
you believe in filling that void.
Why not? We only got one life to live, like, and then I can't live the life that you want me to live.
And what about if he needs to fill that void?
Like in terms of
No. What if he's not getting everything that he wants sexually,
go get it.
and you just
I met you in a swinger club. Like like what? Why would the dynamics change now just because you like me?
so you're okay with your boyfriend going out, hooking up with women, and then coming home?
I'm okay with not having a boyfriend right now. That's a better answer to that question. Cause like I really don't like this is the world that I want to maneuver in right now. So if what this world comes with isn't conducive to the type of relationship that I want to be in, so I think it's screw the relationship at the moment.
So hypothetically, right?
We're doing it together. We'll figure out how to maneuver this world together.
Wow.
Or if we're comfortable, like go ahead and go with your friend. I don't care what you do. As long as we're communicating and we know exactly what. And sometimes I might want to hear the stories of what you did. Might get me off.
Here you at these parties, sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna just rub one out as you watch them. Do you rub one out as you watch?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
But just you leave that to the patrons.
Yeah. No, I mean, why would I rub it out if there's so many different options in the build? I mean, there's times that I don't want any of the options, so I guess. But no, I'm not gonna rub it out.
Okay. What
The
kind
most
of
I'd probably do is sit down and make somebody give me a massage. Like I'll make somebody rub me down in a minute.
hey, yeah, man, get these fucking deep
Like I worked
tissues.
hard today.
Yeah.
Come here, baby.
How much money would you see on a great night?
That's kind of hard to gauge because like a lot of times it's barter systems and a lot of like you mean how I've managed to do it or how it should be done?
No, what is your best night? How much money are you going home with throwing the sex
Going
party?
home with. I've probably made about $8,000.
This is Trappin Anonymous. My name is Chris Styles.
That's how you end it?
Let's get it.